very interesting. My dungeon heart, and of course all my gimmicks, look a bit different here, but the effect is the same. This gate keeps me from proceeding. I don't see any obvious way to move on. There is a dungeon heart there, but as it is, it's completely unusable. There's granite everywhere, and my goblins can't remove it, even under threat of physical violence. There is a monster shelter right here in my area of influence. Because of this monster shelter, I can build monster pentagrams of the corresponding type. It also provides me with valuable population points. Population points allow me to build monster pentagrams, which in turn will spawn monsters. These monsters fight against all heroes that venture close by. The type of monster pentagrams I can build is determined by my monster shelters. Pentagrams also have the advantage that they expand the area of influence of my dungeon, thus opening up new territory. I'll set up a few pentagrams with my available resources in order to expand my dungeon and acquire a suitable territory for it. A newly built pentagram has to be activated by one of my goblins first before it can do its job. Of course, that means there must be a connection between my dungeon heart and the new pentagram. Every pentagram costs me a certain amount of population points, so I need to think carefully about how many of these pentagrams to build. Here's another monster shelter. I shall acquire it by bringing it into my area of influence. Actually, I can't really use this monster shelter. Maybe I should just replace it. Fortunately, you can build over an unsuitable monster shelter, replacing it with a much more useful one. A ready-made dungeon. Very nice. All I have to do is bring the gimmicks here into my area of influence, and soon it will be all mine! I think I'll just take over the whole dungeon. Apparently some heroes have got lost in the underworld. That one there looks like he's really spoiling for a fight. How cute! The hero has a need to cause damage. That means he likes to bash monsters over the head with his weapon. To help him satisfy this need, monsters who inflict little damage and can take a lot would be ideal. Thanks to this monster shelter, I now conveniently have exactly the right kind of monster. I might just give the heroes a little something to do in order to get hold of some delicious soul energy. But I mustn't forget that part of the soul energy will be lost if one of my unreliable monsters defeats a hero.
Disintegrate. Hopefully.
A hero died while fighting a monster.
For the good.
Visitor. This one has a strange need for punishment. Probably he wants to show off his heavy armor. I should send a monster to fight him that does exactly the kind of damage that his armor absorbs best. When I really think about it, monsters can actually be divided into various groups. Monsters who inflict little damage, but can take quite a bit. They're very good at stopping heroes and satisfying their need for doing damage. Monsters who dish out mostly physical damage. They're just the job for heroes in heavy armor, who can take an awful lot of stick. Monsters who are particularly effective against several opponents. They're ideal for fighting enemy monsters or larger groups of heroes. Monsters who aren't very strong fighters but whose pentagram expands my dungeon's area of influence dramatically. And of course, monsters that just soak up a lot of punishment. They serve to keep heroes and other enemies busy for as long as possible, until I can deal with the problem myself. But now I'd better get back to the heroes. There is a much better and more amusing way to get soul energy out of heroes: torture devices. I can easily select one of the heroes languishing in a cell to torture. With the insidious and wicked torture devices, it's possible to get more soul energy out of a hero than he actually has. It just takes a bit longer. level just went up. All the heroes in the dungeon, and all those to come, will be significantly stronger from now on. Heroes at higher levels can also develop new needs, so I should always keep an eye on them. Monsters also have a level. It's a good idea to make sure that the level of my monsters is always about the same as the level of my heroes. If the monsters are too weak, the heroes won't be able to satisfy their needs properly, and I will get hardly any soul energy. But if the monsters are too strong, they will kill the heroes, and I won't get much soul energy either. A vicious circle. Another hero's entrance is opening. But this time, one of those nasty little thieves has entered the underworld. Now, thieves, I am told, have a peculiar need to disarm traps. I think I'll place a few traps in my dungeon. Some traps will be good for my dungeon anyway, because they cause damage to heroes that stumble into them, but not to thieves. They collect prestige instead. Rather nice. But I must be careful because the thieves will try to disarm my traps. Disarmed traps have to be reset by one of my goblins.
A hero died while fighting a monster.
Stone gold is better than begged silver.
Master, a hero is completely satisfied. Better take care of him. A monster just tore one of your heroes apart, Master.
A champion has entered the dungeon. Those obnoxious goody-goodies always come sniffing around when too many heroes fail to return from my dungeon. Unfortunately, those wretched champions don't have any needs, except maybe to destroy my dungeon heart. And on top of everything else, these idiots insist on releasing imprisoned heroes whenever they stumble upon them. I'd better deal with him at once. champion. I should be able to open the gate easily with it. I'd better get moving and find out what's hiding behind the gate.
A monster just tore one of your heroes apart, Master.
I'm in an enemy area of influence here. I should be very careful. My prestige has much less effect here than it would in my area of influence. I think I should look for the cause of this area of influence. This pentagram is probably the remains of a long-forgotten dungeon. I should definitely make it my own. Fortunately, that is easily accomplished by using my Convert Pentagram spell. After that, the pentagram is mine. However, the spell will be interrupted if I am attacked. So I'll try to deal with those monsters first.
A hero is completely satisfied and is now looking to leave your dungeon. A monster just tore one of your heroes apart, Master. Master, a hero is completely satisfied. Better take care of him. One of your monsters just defeated a hero. One of your monsters has just killed a hero.
Excellent! Now the pentagram and everything in its area of influence belongs to me! Oh, the gate has opened. I think I'll move on.